and welcome to the Loci CHEM installation tutorial. I'm Rex Chamberlain of Tetra Research, and in the next 10 minutes or so I'm going to show you how to install Loci CHEM on a Linux cluster. So let's go ahead and get started and look at an overview of what we're going to do. We use OpenMPI and a GCC compiler because both of these are available on typical clusters, and they also offer the best combination for a smooth installation. Also, if you don't have the HDF5 libraries on your system, you'll need to download those from hdf5.org and make sure that they're properly installed. The most important part of the installation is to prepare your environment, and we're going to set your path and LD library path variables appropriately so that your environment will be configured to both install and run Loci CHEM. We're then going to configure and install Loci, and then configure and install CHEM, and finally run a test case to verify that your installation is complete. So the environment variables that are set up for the installation scripts basically set the bin and lib paths for OpenMPI and HDF5, as well as for Loci and CHEM. There's an additional variable that needs to be set up for CHEM. That's the chemistry database variable, and that sets the species data location. And all of this is accomplished in a simple login script that each user will execute when they log in, and that will set up their environment automatically for running CHEM. So let's take a look at the installation process itself. And when you download the two compressed zip files from the website, you'll start out with a loci.tgz file and a chem.tgz file, and I've just placed them here in this training directory to illustrate what it looks like when you're building from scratch. And then you'll need to generate this login script that I've called here bash rc-3.3 that will set up your environment. So let's go ahead and take a look at the script. And there are 4 variables in here that are machine specific that you'll need to set for your particular installation, and then the rest of the script is generic. So let's look at the first one, and that's the MPI path. This is the base library and binary path for MPI, and in our case we're using the TCP GNU version. And similarly, the base directory path for HDF5 in our case is located in /opt/HDF5. And then we'll need to also specify the installation directories for Loci, and I'm going to place that here in training and call it loci-3.3. And similarly for CHEM, the installation directory I'm going to call chem-3.3. And so the rest of the script is basically generic. We're going to put the binary paths for HDF5 and MPI into the path variable, and into LD library path we're going to put the HDF5 and MPI path directories for the library paths. And similarly, we're going to do the same thing for Loci and CHEM. Into the path variable we'll put the binaries that are located in the Loci and CHEM installation directories, and also the LD library path will contain the library paths for the installation. And then finally, the variable that we need to set for the species data is chemistry database, and that will just go into chem install. For the bash script, we need to do the export statement for each of the variables. In the C shell, you don't need to do that. It's a very similar process to set up these very same environment variables. So let's go ahead and untar these compressed zip files and do the first one for Loci, and then for CHEM, and you'll see that we've untarred the Loci patch 1 source directory and chem 3.3. So let's go ahead and CD into Loci because we install Loci first, and there's a configure script there that we're going to execute in order to tell it the installation directory path that we want to use, we'll use the prefix option. So I'll get my working directory up so it's easy to copy, and then do configure with the prefix option, and I'm just going to specify the training directory. So that's going to set up the directory structure and the make files to begin the Loci installation, and we'll just type gmake install to get that started. And there it goes. So now, depending on your system, this will take about a half an hour or so, and when that's complete here, we'll come back and begin the CHEM installation. Okay, we're back and the Loci installation has finished. So let's just go up one directory, which is where we told the script to install, and we'll see that we have the Loci Linux 3.3 patch 1 directory located right here. But you'll recall that in the configuration script, we referred to this installation directory simply as loci-3.3. So to connect the two, we'll just do a soft link to this directory and rename it loci-3.3. So now every time we refer to the generic directory name loci-3.3, we'll actually be referring to the actual installation directory. And we're going to do the same thing with CHEM, do the soft link once it is installed as well. So let's cd to the CHEM source directory and take a look at that to get the CHEM installation going. And we'll see that there's a configure script in this directory as well, and also a configuration file, chem.conf. So we're going to specify the Loci installation to CHEM through the chem.conf file. So let's copy our installation directory and go and see what's in the chem.conf file. It wants us to set Loci base, which is the base installation directory for Loci, and that is located in the training directory, and we called it just Loci 3.3. The CHEM installation path is actually redundant here. We're going to specify that using the prefix option to the configure script, so we'll just comment that out and not use it. So let's go ahead and do our configure, and with the prefix option to specify the CHEM installation directory path, and again just put that into the training directory. So that sets up the directory structure and the make files for the CHEM installation, and now all we need to do is type gmake install, and that gets the CHEM installation going. So now, depending on your system, this takes about 45 minutes or so, and when that's done, we'll come back and execute the test case to verify our installation. Okay, so we're back and the CHEM installation is finished. So let's go up one directory and see that the CHEM Linux release 3.3 directory was created by the installation process. And to simplify that, let's just do our soft link procedure again and rename that directory chem-3.3. And again, you'll see that every time we refer to the CHEM distribution directory, we'll be talking about chem-3.3. Okay, so let us verify the installation by going to the CHEM source directory, and in that directory there's an examples subdirectory, and we can see that there are a number of cases in there that we could run, but just for the purposes of verification, let's go to SSME and take a look at what's in there. There are two files in this directory, the vars file, which ssme.vars, which is the CHEM input file, and the volume grid ssme.vog, which is the grid for this case. So let's just go ahead and do npi run, specify 4 processors, run the executable chem on the case SSME, and that should load up and start running if we have a good installation. Alright, so everything looks good and It is running. This will go 100 steps, just a very quick run to verify that everything is working. And so that's it. We've completed the Loci CHEM installation. Be sure to go to tetraresearch.com and check out links to other um, video training on YouTube, and also for the premium users you can log in and get advanced training in the advanced video section. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have very good and productive use with Loci CHEM.